What's up? Welcome to the YouTube channel. So in this one I'm going to be going over a strategy that I already have made, which is a divergence, RSI divergence strategy. So here's what it does. Um, Here you can see one of the trades it takes, but basically it waits for, once it finds a peak in RSI level, so here below 30 and highs are above 70, it marks that peak. And then if we get an engulfing with the RSI above this saved level peak, but price is below this close, then it'll take a trade. So here you can see the peak was 14 and price was 21.75-ish. Then after this engulfing, RSI came up, but price came down. So that's how the strategy works. Goes both ways. You can set it to have a stop loss. It always is going to do a parabolic stop loss, but you can set it to have a stop loss at the low or high of the peaks, or you can set the TP and a hard code it to a certain amount of ticks. So here's the code for it. Just gonna go through it real quick. So right now you can also do the same thing with the stochastics, but for this video I'm just gonna show how to do it with the RSI. So first thing you need is load in or set up RSI, RSI peak index, and RSI bars till peak expires. Then we're gonna set use RSI to true, contracts to 1, TP and ticks, stop loss ticks, peak strength. We're gonna set all of these, and we also need min candles and max candles. Then in state.configure, if we want to use the hard-coded stop loss and ticks, then we're going to use this, and this is when this will be executed. Our TP will always be the set TP. Next, if we want to use RSI, that'll load RSI up. If we want to use stochastic, that'll load that up. Now, for our peak strength, that's going to be checking how many. So to create a peak, to code it, basically we're saying this candle is less than, if your peak strength is 2, then it's less than the value of 2 candles before it and the 2 candles after it. So that's how that makes a peak strength, or makes a peak. So if your peak strength is 5, then this RSI value has to be lower than 5 candles before it and 5 bars after it. And then so on. So to make sure we have enough bars, we do peak strength times 2, and then plus 3, just to make sure we have enough. Then, so when using RSI is true and peak index is -1, that means that's just the defaults. Or no, that means there isn't a peak yet. That means there's no saved peak. Then we're going to find our high candle is going to be the highest of the minimum. Guess I should explain that first. But when we load up the strategy, we want, so if the peak was here, right, or it was here, the entry needs to be wait 2 candles, but before 7 candles. So engulfing must happen between then. So that's what the min and max candles to wait after peak means. So this is just finding the candle that we want to check. Then here is making sure, this is checking if we're going to go for buys or sells. And then we want to check if the high index equals the min candles. So that means the minimum away candles it can be. This will check if that candle min candles away was a peak or not. So this checks if it was a peak, then we save that as that candle, and then we set candles to expire to, in this case, 5, so it can start counting how many candles until the end it, and then it draws the vertical line as well. And then the exact same thing for when it's for buys, and this is for sells, or above and below 70 and 30. Then if the indexes are never equal to min candles, then we're going to set RSI peak index back to -1 so that we can go through this logic again on the next bar. So then, if when we're waiting for the peak and we don't get the engulfing and it expires, then we set that back to -1 to look for more candles. Then here, so this is if the RSI makes a peak, but then it goes past that peak. Then we're no longer searching for an engulfing. So this will reset it back to -1. Same thing in the opposite direction. And then every time we have a peak and it stays valid, then we count down on bars till expires, and we add up the peak index, because the index is however many candles back, and every new candle we add 1 because it's 1 candle farther back. So that's how we calculate the RSI and the peak. Next we come to here. So if we have a peak and in a flat position, if we get an engulfing, and if the RSI of the current candle is, so this is for sells, it's easier to explain for buys, but if we have an engulfing bar pattern, the RSI for the engulfing candle is greater than the peak RSI, and the close is less than the peak close, then we enter long. And then if we want to use if we are not using the hard-coded TP or stop loss and ticks, then from here we get our new stop loss, which is going to be the low of the engulfing bar pattern. Put that into ticks and then set that as a parabolic stop. And so that's, here are all the properties if you want those. So feel free to copy this and use it. I know it's a pretty common strategy for a lot of people, but I think this one works as it should, and you definitely can make this profitable. So feel free to copy it, use it, let me know, add any comments, or if you have any suggestions. But here are all the properties. And yeah, there's that strategy. Then here is a back test I ran on it, just to show that you definitely can get very profitable. I mean, this is from beginning of 2019 till end of 2023, so looks very good. You can load on the chart, see it's still working. You know, today it looks like it took 2 losses. Or no, that's not today, that's end of last year. But definitely can be very profitable. I will actually probably be running these exact parameters on a sim account to see how it does for now. This was the result I got from an optimization, but we can check if it's profitable this year too. So change that to 24, 25. Run that. And so yeah, we still made money this year. Even though not great, had a pretty big drawdown, but let's go back to that full time range we were looking at. So yeah, this strategy definitely looks like it can work with these exact parameters. So yeah, I'll be starting to run it live. Not live, but on my sim account. And let's see. I mean, so yeah, definitely. I mean, look at that. Minus 10, over 10,000 at 130. So if we take that out, I mean, that's increasing, the profit by a decent amount. You could probably even cut out. Let's try only during U.S. market open. Oh, that's not it. That's extended trading hours. We'll see if that helps it out at all. Yeah, that hurt it because now it's only trading the times we don't want it to trade. Wait, no. They're not really sure what hours that is, but we want this one. So that hurt it, right? I don't remember. Yeah, I think it did. But still, I mean, this strategy can definitely make profitable. I might make another video on making a couple tweaks, like waiting to enter, or maybe also running with the stochastic at the same time. Because I mean, I actually really like this. Let's do it by entry time. Ah, okay. So yeah, maybe take out one, take out 1 to 230. Saves a couple thousand. And then let's see our winning trades. Max adverse excursion. Yeah, this looks like they're usually not in a lot of drawdown, but we can say, if a trade goes past $530 in drawdown, then to just close it then. That would have saved this trade. Let's see, ended up winning. No, that wouldn't work. But yeah, now you guys can see, there's a lot of stuff you can do with these strategies. Here are all the parameters. RSI on, RSI period 7, smooth, that doesn't matter. We don't use it. TP 350, stop loss 10, 20 for peak strength, 4 candles wait 15, 19 minute. And yeah, this was also with commissions. No slippage though. Let's see, commission, $3,000 in commission. Slippage, extreme case would be 2. And yeah, I mean didn't do too much. Still profitable. So yeah, here's a strategy that could very easily make you money right now. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any suggestions or want to see more. I think my next video will probably be the stochastics and see if I can get a running strategy for that. So yeah, thanks for watching.